Hello, everyone. It's been a while since we had any content, but we're coming back strong for this special three-parter that we're going to be doing in conjunction with World Mental Health Day. So, in today's episode, or at least this first part, we're going to be talking about self-love, care, and worth. So, grab a drink, relax, sit down, and enjoy our conversations. And just a small disclaimer: we would like to emphasize that we are just giving our general thoughts and opinions about these topics, and we do not represent or should not be representing any form of professional advice. So yeah, before we get into the podcast, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on at Mike Up, yeah, on all our social media platforms, and yeah, we're going to discuss all forms of topics about daily lives and stuff like that. So that being said, let's get into this podcast. So guys, since it's all about self love, care, and worth, I guess any one of you, I'm just going to open this up. Uh, what do you understand by self care and self love?
Have your face on the cup. It's self-care. Fucking self-love.
Self-love.
Look at yourself every day.
Look at yourself every day. Yeah, be like Elton, right?
But yeah, I don't know. Self-care for me it's just basically taking care of yourself. Probably sounds kind of selfish, right? But it's making sure your needs are before other people. Yeah, but I like to hear from other people first. So, before I tell a story and go along, then you all know it's the Elton podcast after this already.
True. I know, Lafin, your thoughts, or what do you understand by self care and self love?
Well, firstly, I think that we tend to use both these words quite interchangeably, self-care and self-love. But in my opinion, it seems to me that there are some differences, right? When we talk about self-care, we normally talk about what we do to care for ourselves, either physically, psychologically, or emotionally. So it can be something as simple as, taking a shower. So that is in relation to our cleanliness. We're caring for ourselves in terms of cleanliness. And then we can also take the extra mile on certain things like, sometimes taking time off our studies or, our work just to relax and recuperate. So that is, in my opinion, a form of self-care also. So I guess the key here would then be like, what do you need at that point of time? Whereas for self-love, how I would see is us accepting and like just loving ourselves unconditionally. So there is no like, oh, if only I was skinnier, or if only I was prettier, or why am I not like some model and stuff like that. So instead of that, it is believing that, oh, I'm as such, I'm this way, and I'm not perfect, but it's okay because I'm who I am. So I guess the key there would be like, how do you accept yourself as someone who is imperfect, but at the same time, you value and respect yourself? So that's how I see the difference between self-care and love.
I just want to say, right, 3 of them are psych majors and I'm business psych. So you can actually see the difference in how we actually answer. But yeah, well, I think for me is, I think what she said was really right. Making time for yourself, that's self-care. Self-love is just being yourself. I'm quite so high also. And I'm not apologetic for me being like that. It's me, I'm being who I am. If you don't like it, that's your thing. Yeah.
What about Pei-Ling?
Pei-Ling, what are your thoughts?
You talk so much. My turn.
I can agree with what Elton and Delphine say. For me, it's more like prioritizing yourself, put yourself first, and then really know what you want, and then have confidence in yourself. You have to accept yourself first before other people accept that. So you do things that can boost your self-confidence, do things that can boost your self-esteem. That is.
What she said. What you accept yourself, then I think other people will eventually accept you for who you are.
Right. I mean, there's a saying that always goes around. They say, if you cannot love yourself first, how are you going to be able to love someone else or accept someone else's love? So that is something that has stuck with me quite a while.
Justin Bieber song plays in the background. Doesn't he have a song like Love Yourself? No?
I
No?
Yes.
Just me?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not
Go,
too
go.
familiar.
Okay, I'm
There
gonna
is a
cue that
just-
song.
There's a song called Love
Yeah, sure, we
Yourself.
shall educate you
Oh,
on all
I
Justin
learned
Bieber
something new
songs.
today. There's a song called that.
But yeah, sure, what about you?
Yeah, I think for me, self-care is more of what you do for yourself to take care, and self-love is more of your internal thoughts and values, or how do I say?
Express yourself.
Yeah, what you want for
Authentic lah.
yourself and stuff like that. How you internally take care, and self-care is how you externally take care. That's what I think the distinction is lah between the two. I mean, both is important, right?
Correct.
Like, yeah, sometimes you just need to
You
rest
can't
physically, and
have-
sometimes the mental aspect of it is the more important one. So,
Mm.
yeah,
But at the same time, I think both self-care and self-love, they can be put together in a sense that once you begin with self-care, you will graduate towards self-love, or it can be interchangeably. Once you start with self-love, you will then move into self-care. So
Mm.
it's not to say that it's very distinct. It's just that the way we explain it is a bit different. But when practically wise, we can the whole idea of it is to focus on yourself.
It's not one after another, it's actually all overlapping things that you're constantly trying to
correct.
balance throughout time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
It should come hand in hand, lah, right? Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't take care of just one aspect of yourself and just ignore the other aspect, right? So
Dude,
Yeah.
there's the book 7 Habits. If like you're a help student, you're listening to this podcast, Foundation, I think everyone goes through it. There's
Ayo,
four
that book
dimensions.
is like staple in life already, lah.
Dude, but
At this
serious,
point.
Correct.
even after Foundation, I've been doing workshops on that topic, and it always boils back down to the 4 different dimensions. How do you balance? And every time I read it, I remind myself of, oh, my life is in a mess. I'm pretty fucked up, man. So then you gotta have to balance the different dimensions, see what you want to do for each and how it suits you as a person, lah. Yeah.
Correct.
Shameless plug. Put a book there.
Shameless plug. I mean, it's just not like it's your book or anything,
Pei Ling
right?
so
But it is
confident.
a good book. It is a very
Yeah, it's
good
a good
book, and
book.
I think it was one of the very good values of Help University lah. I mean, not to not to
Wow, we're
promote or
promoting
anything,
Help
but like
University right now.
for
University of
them to
Achievers.
incorporate this whole teaching into their syllabus is, I say to me, is very helpful because I really like that book. And then I remember like when I was going through, I was like, oh my god, there's so many like good sayings. I remember highlighting everything. So I think Elton knows because I borrowed him my book, and if you would open the book, there are a lot of highlights in the book.
You know, the funny thing about that book is when I was studying PDL, the Personal Development and Leadership, I didn't even like to read it, but I probably even didn't finish the book. I thought it was just that subject, take it, forget about it. Then after I moved to youth development, right, then every single time people go back to the book, I'm like, why?
I mean, it's one of the, I think, the most important books
Yeah,
one
I
should
mean,
read,
But
especially
after
one that's like our age area.
Yeah, but after that, once you I did a different workshops based on that book, I see why people actually constantly go back to those 7 habits. It's integral part of life lah, to especially development. But yeah, sidetrack, sorry, Pei Ling.
Send me a copy. I need it.
Yeah, get from the
We lend you that book, then can yeah. I think I still have it in my shelf or something. It's like somewhere behind there.
I don't even have the book. That's the
Well, okay. So I guess since we're on the topic here already, right? So what do you guys usually do for self-care, or how do you practice self-care in your case?
Velo.
Yeah, that's fine, right? I mean,
That's
you enjoy
self-torture.
doing
It's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean the way we care for ourselves is very different for each of us. So there is no right or wrong, should or shouldn't kind of thing. Yeah. So I think for me personally, how I care for myself is, especially now that it's the whole COVID period, right? I'm literally stuck at home 24/7 with my family. And truth to be told, yes, it's very nice to spend time with them. But at the same time, because you're sharing a lot of spaces with them. So work is also being surrounded with family members. Personal time is also being surrounded by them. So it's very important for me, like right now itself, to set some time aside from family, like to do things on my own. So whether it be taking longer than usual showers, or spending a bit more time in the room for self time lah. That is like how, for me at least, how I care for myself now. So be it like reading or watching my dramas, or reading a book, all of it is done during my personal time in my own personal space lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pei Ling, what do you do?
It's quite similar with Delphin, but what I usually do is I have two ways, because I enjoy spending time with people. So either like before COVID, I would spend time with my friends, my family, and also my cats and my hedgehog. That one is spending time with other people. And then another one is I would spend time with myself. So what I would do is I would just stay in my room the whole day, and then not doing anything, just lying down, and
That's the life.
yeah,
Man.
just lying down and just shut up.
Correct,
Whatever.
correct.
Alton?
I would say I love to go out. That's like my self-love. I go out, spend time with my friends and stuff. So COVID has been like, I wouldn't say good. I mean, good to spend time with your family lah, and but the fact that you don't go out with your friends, it's the same thing over. So it tends to get annoying at times lah, if you're having the same. So like I do wake up earlier and I tell my family, you don't catch me, I'm going for my walk. You don't even talk to me. Like my brother just drive his bike and then continue talks about game. I'm like, morning, you don't talk about game. My room is off limits for games. If I'm in my room, please just don't come in, that kind of thing. But he still does it. I mean, family lah, no matter how you're in that same space, but it does help setting different boundaries lah. And yeah, occasionally they do adhere to it, but yeah, brothers, we just like to catch each other.
It's like that. You mean you kacha him, he also kacha you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's the constant banter.
Then anything else that you do besides going out or like whatever?
I mean, games used to be a way to get away from work, from everything else. But if you really get into really serious, you try to play seriously. I don't think so. That's a good thing. Like damn stressed every other time. I was like stressed during work, and then I went to play games. I got even more stressed after the game. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play rank. I don't care. I literally just de-stress. Just
my
playing
brother
games.
is grinding for plat now. He's stuck at gold. I'm like, bro, just have fun lah. I mean, when you playing game is just to have fun. You're technically bringing yourself into a fantasy world where you're detached from. If going there makes you feel even more stressed, then I don't think it serves its purpose lah.
I agree.
Yeah. So far it's just like this. I mean, there's nothing else I could do. Morning is, workout helps, self time, and basically things around the house. But usually, if let's say we say we can go out, then definitely spending time with friends. Or I like to do this quarterly holiday kind of thing. Every quarter I go holiday with my friends, or every half a year I go on my own holiday on my own, just to be quiet with myself, that kind of thing. Fuck COVID. Yeah.
So I think most of us are at least affected by it lah.
Yeah.
For me also, I think spending time with friends and going out is a good way for me to take care of my my well-being, because I don't like to be stuck at home. So similarly, it's been very difficult, but we've gotten used to things. So spending time with your friends online, playing games, watching shows and whatnot have been my way of taking care, or my form of self-care at least. So yeah.
It's still different though.
Sorry?
Like it's still different. Like no matter how I don't think so being online all this can ever replace the human touch.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
Even with this podcast, right? It'd be so much better if you actually did it like face to face. The interaction there is way better than. But we we do what we gotta do lah.
I mean, we've
Yeah, we make do
literally,
with what we have lah. It's very
yeah,
the circumstances are just in this way, so we just gotta adapt lah, I guess.
I mean, we've literally done like virtually all our content for like almost a year. Has it been a year?
Half a year or so. We
Half
did
a year.
shoot some end of last year.
Yeah. I mean, but still, we had
Yeah.
to change and whatnot. So
Oh yeah. I still always like face to face, like the whole thing. Production quality and also the content that comes through is more authentic. I just don't know how to say, when you meet people face to face in the flesh, that is a difference to that. Yeah.
mm. I mean, what can we do? It is what it
Yeah.
is, right?
True, it is what
Yeah.
it is. It is
But-
what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, coming back, we went off on a tangent, right? So, has there ever been any occasion where you held yourself back from like, practicing all of these forms of self-love? Like you mentioned, maybe family has come in, like has been obstruction a bit for things like this. But yeah, I would like to hear from you guys.
I think mainly work. I like how both of them, one just laugh, one just nods, and she was like, I think, yeah, you pretty much sums it up. We can
Yeah.
move on to the next question. Just work, man.
I mean, but go ahead, elaborate. Tell the people.
I don't know, like, sorry, I wouldn't say I'm a workaholic, but when you're at home, you have nothing to do, you can't go out with friends. Other than work, you got nothing to do, it's work.
I thought you
It's-
literally just did work in uni. You didn't even study.
That's not the point.
Part-time student.
I mean,
Yeah, kind of true, but that's the thing. With the whole COVID thing, it's even worse. I mean, you usually go out with your friends, you play games.
Yeah.
That time is really where you don't work, you relax. But now at home, it's either you're working, and if you have really nothing to do, your mind goes back to work. Let's get as much things done as possible.
Right.
So, because there's work never finishes. I mean, once you go into the working world, that it's not like uni. Assignment finish means nothing. Work, right? There's always more, like, because money doesn't stop, right? The company doesn't say, oh, let's take a holiday. The whole company don't need to sell anything, don't need to give any of their services. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
okay. Pei Ling.
Agreed.
Sums it up. And then, yes.
Staying at home, right, there's a lot of distraction. So, like, because we have online class before, and then right now I
Online
work
work.
from home also. So when studying online classes, there's a lot of distraction. So you don't really have to be in class to be in class. Yeah, so when there's a lot of distraction, you kind of, like, at least for me, take a lot of time to get things done. So the duration of studying or like working is
Even long.
Very long.
So you don't really have time for
Mm.
yourself as well,
because there's always things that have to be done.
Yeah. Like, if you go to office, when you work, you're literally working on that thing and it's work, but at home you work for a while, then your mom call you, gotta do this, your hamster wants to eat, you gotta feed your hamster. I mean, that kind of thing. So yeah.
There's no cut-off point, I would say.
Yeah. And if the TV is just right there, or you can just go and
Yes. Netflix button is just right down there.
right.
Duffy.
Yeah, I mean, I usually agree with everything they say. I think that another point that perhaps to add is that it's not only your personal space that is being disrupted, but also when it comes to work, we normally say that Monday to Friday is work day, if not Saturday half day. But when you're at home, weekends slowly start to become work days also, So that is the only thing like normally we'll take the weekends off for caring for ourselves and recuperating. But when your workspace becomes your personal space becomes your workspace, then there is no clear distinction
Boundaries are
anymore. So
blurred.
there is no like proper self-care and proper self-love per se lah.
Then
Yeah.
for me, what was holding me back? I guess, yeah, I mean, it's similar lah, right? Like
Yeah, I
like
think
y'all
this one
mentioned.
is I think everyone's facing around the same problem.
Yeah,
There's no
that's the
two way
thing.
around
Because
it.
we're all working now, so it's the whole not being able to separate ourselves from like what's it? Work and our own personal time. So
Even you put aside a place to work, specifically for work in your home, and a place to rest or whatever, it's still a home.
yeah.
It's still one place that you yeah.
So I mean, yeah, lor, hard to say lah. I mean, even if we do separate ourselves from work, in this
Yeah.
case, like yeah, like you mentioned, we're still at home, and it's not easy to find that balance. So I think a lot of people struggle with that as well. But yeah. So like, what do you guys think we should do to overcome it?
Don't work.
I don't think that's
No
an option
work,
for
no
people,
money.
right? People need to work.
We solve the problem at the cause, at the root.
Genius, right? You just don't work. Yeah, if you
just
don't
don't
work, you
eat
won't have these
also.
problems. Yeah, exactly.
So
No,
I feel that
but really though, like what do
yeah.
you guys think we can do, or at least in your opinion, how would you try to overcome it?
Hmm.
I don't think so. We have overcome it, judging
Okay,
by
lah.
how
Maybe
we
not
answered the
overcome
last
lah, but
question.
try to
Yeah, I mean, as I said,
Reduce the
reduce it as much as possible.
like specify a space to work and a space to do some of the things. Like I have my table downstairs that's for work, and okay lah, there's my gaming PC also lah, because that's the power is there. But like upstairs, my room here, I won't do any work in this room. Right, this is just for Netflix and my own projects like this podcast or my own content, where I don't consider it as work, but more something of my passion. To have that distinct separation between both helps a bit lah. Not gonna say it's really helped because I mean you're still in the
You're
same
still at
home.
home.
Yeah, you're still at home, but it does help a bit in terms of your mind telling your mind that I'm downstairs is work. Once I move upstairs, you're not gonna touch on company work or whatever.
For my end, I would say discipline. When you're planning your time, for example. So like for me, when I plan it, I tell myself, okay, Monday to Friday is work, and I try to work until a certain time only. Let's say I start at 9, the latest I go till is like 7:30. That's the max that I will tell myself to go. After that, I will try my best not to. But of course, sometimes trying your best doesn't mean it's a success, right? Because sometimes there may be urgent stuff that you have to do and stuff. So discipline plus a bit of flexibility lah. Let's say weekends, maybe I'll stop work on Friday, I'll finish work on Friday, then I will say, okay, Saturday and Sunday, I really try not to touch work. If I really have to, if I really have to, then maybe, Saturday 2 to 3 hours, and then Sunday maybe like 2 to 3 hours just to prep for Monday's work. But in between all those, I try my best not to. So I'll tell myself, okay, indulge in something that I like to do. Like, let's say I started digital illustration a few months back. So I'll tell myself, okay, this is really set. This time is set for doing digital illustrations only. So I won't think about work. This time is set for just watching dramas. So I won't think about work at all. But yet again, our mind works in a very fantastic way, right? You tell yourself not to think of it, then somehow or rather you will still think of it. So it's really that balance, I would say.
I think it helps with like if company gives you like a company laptop or stuff. Like last time I went to work in office, I'll just leave my whole company laptop and everything company related at the company. I don't bring home anything. So you come home, you can't, even though you want to do your company work, you can't. And that really helps. Yeah. I mean, you can think about work, but there's nothing you can do about it. Like all your stuff is there.
Pei-Ling?
My side is quite similar to Delphin's style, but my one is more of like setting targets for every day. So if like Monday to Friday I'm working, then it's more of like every day I set targets. Like every day I need to do how many things like that. So after I hit that target, then I just stop, and then rest lah, and then don't touch anything.
But what if you
Mm.
don't hit the target during that day?
What if
Yeah
I
lor.
don't hit? Then I continue. Continue.
But-
If not, then I bring forward to the next day lah. Then the next day more targets. So you have to finish it lah. Yeah.
Aiyo, not like this.
Yeah, it's like that lah. But
Mm.
the nature of my work cannot really cut off I think, because
Yeah.
the WhatsApp is non-stop. They keep on texting on. So it's also set time lah. But for me, replying WhatsApp is not really consider work. So it's okay lah. Because I also get texts on weekends, even like during the podcast, like right now, I still get texts. So it's like that long.
Yeah,
The
just-
nature of the work is
yeah.
like that. So I have to accept.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I think
sometimes I also
I
mute
sh-
you.
Oh, what? Sorry, Alton?
No, I mean sometimes I also mute you. I just put my phone in the drawer. I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to touch it. Like you're so done with it. But yeah.
I think I share all
Actually,
three of
Pei Ling, you
your
want to share?
elements.
Sorry?
No. Let Pei Ling share first.
Oh, no. Because Pei Ling was talking about her nature of the work, right? So do you want to share with us what are you doing now? What is the nature of your work that requires you to be so engaged with your WhatsApp?
Okay, so I'm working in a recruitment agency. So my job is to call people and then look for people to fill up the jobs. Yeah. Then I have to post a lot of ads, and then after that I have to call them, interview them, kind of thing. So once I arrange them, then fit them into the schedule, I have to mainly people management lah. So after that, once they're on board, then I have to catch up with them on their first day, and when they are late, I have to call them. So it's a lot of
Just,
calling
yeah.
and texting.
PA / supervisor / manager /
Yes,
Slash
boss
/
consultant / a lot lah.
cannot tell also she cannot tell.
Yeah, I
Aiyo.
cannot. But
Wait, I
it's
think
like
another thing that's important to sort of mention is also, though all four of us are in the in the working world now, I think if any of our listeners are students, what we're saying is it can apply to all of you as well. It's just that in a different context. So if let's say we are talking about work, then in your context would be like your studies, your classes, your assignments and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up lah.
Yeah.
Change my background to part-time student. Not anymore, you know.
You were always a part-time student, Alton. I mean,
Yeah.
not anymore
Yeah.
now. We're all
Yeah.
all done, graduated.
Yeah.
But okay, I think my point I was trying to make earlier is like I share very similar aspects to each of you, like how I manage my how I do it at least, and also because of the nature of my job, so which makes it a bit different as well lah. So like I work downstairs away from my room and stuff like that, so I can keep my time separate, and I also try to be as disciplined in finishing work on time and stuff like that, and always try to not work past a certain time. But again, due to the nature of my job, which can extend until like late at night sometimes, I mean, I just be on standby lah. But just finish whatever I need to finish and just continue doing what I want to do. So yeah, for me, it's just finding that balance. But for now, I can still feel okay because I still manage my time. I don't feel I'm working until I want to die like that. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
it's
before
like
we
that
move
for
on.
me lah.
Before we move on, there's the tweet notification. I just got a tweet. It says that I read to you guys the tweet. Straddling the line between I need a break, I'm gonna do nothing today, and you lazy piece of shit. Now's your chance to do the things you didn't have time for.
your phone is listening.
Yeah, your phone is
I'm
listening.
serious, dude. I'm not even joking. This is the little tweet. I don't know if you can see.
We can't see it. Yeah.
Never mind. But yeah, I'll put the tweet there. But that is, it literally is there. I was like, oh my God, Google is listening.
Ironic.
Yeah,
Ironic
literally
much,
they're
right?
listening.
Fuck.
Um,
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
am I moving back? I guess we handled the more how we took care of things or how we usually uh yeah, how we take care of ourselves and stuff like that. But I guess let's move to the more mental aspects of things and go with were there ever like times where you felt like you could not do something? Because this is not just a physical aspect of self-love and stuff. It's mental as well. So have you ever been mentally down or points in your life where you felt you couldn't do things, and what do you do to try and overcome it?
Hmm.
I would say that like legit, I mean, sorry if I go first. Last month was really a month where I was fucking stuck. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna make a video on it, and I was stuck then also. I didn't even make a video on it. Especially because I did a lot of things in the month of September. Like everything just fell on this September. So during middle of the month, I literally burnt out. Like I didn't want to do anything. I was no creativity. I just didn't want to do anything. Like I was doing work because it was work. Um, and even though up to now you can still feel the side effects of you're motivated, but you just can't be bothered to do anything. It's not that. I think sometimes for us is you just need a break. You need a break to refresh yourself. And with COVID, we've never actually had a proper break, right? Because if you're at home, means you can do it. If you're not sick, means you can still do it, kind of thing. I think it applies to studies also. Last time, other than studies, we got with our friends. The change of scenario helps. Scenery helps to just keep your mind fresh and like just stay creative all the time now. You see different things, you see have different perspective. But if every day you're staring at the same thing over and over and over, fuck. I mean, we're just living in like, I feel like we're living in like a glorified prison. A kind of sense of prison lah. Not to say that it's bad, but mentally that's how it feels.
Hmm. Interesting.
I don't think so. Humans are wired to do the same thing over and over and over and over. We always seek novelty. We seek for something new. Although we are scared of something new, but our mind always likes new stuff. When you buy new things, you always like new stuff. When you go travel, you like new experiences, that kind of thing. You wouldn't want to go to the same place over and over and over and over. It's just that boring after a while. Yeah.
I think some people will be okay with such routine though. Hard to say.
Yeah.
But I understand your point as well. Like you feel
general,
stuck. Yeah.
I mean, that's how consumerism works also. You're
True.
always seeking for new novelty. If general, the public doesn't always look for new stuff, most business will go out of business. Like seriously. If you don't like the new iPhone, everyone can work on their old iPhone 6. Apple will bankrupt by now, man.
So Elton, so for you, your, how do I say, that was the time when you felt like really down or mentally just tired of life lah, right?
Yeah, it's just very tiring.
I see. Okay. And Delphine, Pei Ling, like when was the last time you felt such feelings, and what do you do to like try and overcome it?
Well, I would say, okay, aside from the whole COVID situation making it, making us feel that it's hard to overcome whatever issues that we have. There was one point in my time where I would say it's the lowest of the lowest that I've ever encountered. The incident really just like broke me down as a person and really made me think of what is self-care and self-love all over again. So what was very important at that time is to really let time heal you. So in times where you are very broken and very down, we it's very hard for us to find that energy and that will to stand up again. But what I did at that time is to really let time to how do I say, reduce the pain, reduce whatever hardships that you're going through, and then when you recuperate and have the energy to stand back up again, that is where you will find your sort of reborn energy, if that makes sense, to help you to stand up and walk whatever path that is again. So the essence here is to not force yourself in whatever obstacles or whatever circumstances you're in, but give yourself time to absorb everything that's happening, to embrace all that is happening, and then when you feel you're ready to take on whatever it is and stand back up again, then go for it.
Wow.
Okay, that's I think it's very good advice. Like, it's very how to say,
I mean, it's well worded.
Yeah, it's well worded. That's one thing. But you know how when people always say that when you're going through a tough time, time heals. It's cheesy. It's very cliche. But I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth of things. I think also, like, time really does heal you. You learn to pick yourself up. You learn to just say it's okay. Yeah.
I feel like with cliches, like, it's based on something that happens all the time. Like, there's a certain amount of truth behind a cliche, hence it becomes cliche.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like how McDonald's ice cream machine is always broken.
I mean, I always get ice cream. I don't know about you lah, but I get the ice cream. I don't complain.
He's just unlucky.
Yeah, you're just unlucky.
3 times in a row. Different
It
ice
is what it
creams.
is. Yeah, it is what it is.
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Then Pei Ling, what about you?
Actually, for my case, it happened quite recently because I just started to work 2 weeks ago. So I didn't have any experience working in a corporate. So I don't really have like a proper working experience before. Before this is just part-time and then internship. My internship was quite chill, so it's not really like a work thing. Then like 2 weeks ago when I started, when I joined the team, I don't feel like I can add value to them. So it kind of feel worthless because I just started. Then after that, there's a lot of things to process, like a lot of things that I have to do and a lot of things that I need to change based on from my lifestyle and from my working style and even from my personality. Don't really fit the nature of the company. So at that time was quite, I don't really know what to do lah. So, and all the informations are very overwhelming. Then like what Delphine shared just now, time, like I think take times to really accept what have to be done, and then take time to really make myself grow lah in a way. So yeah, and then up until now, it's okay so far. But what I do is really find the fun part of work. So for me, because I enjoy talking to people, so when I do cold calling or when I call people, it's not only interviewing them, but it's more of like I treat them as a friend when I talk to them. So it's not that intense when I phone interview them. So I talk to them and then ask them like why are you looking for a job, and then is there any issues you're facing that. So just find the fun part of it instead of keep on repeating the same thing, keep on asking the same question, and then like that. So my way is to make things interesting when it's boring.
My mom always say this in Chinese. Is go 开心，你不开心也是要过日子。你开心也是要过日子，你不如开开心心过日子 ，right? Kind of thing. I mean, translate to English, it's if you are sad,
like, what the hell are you talking about?
If you're sad, you have to go through the day. I mean, if you're happy, you have to go through the day. Might as well you go through the day happily. You enjoy what you do, that kind of thing. I mean, how you live your life is really how you see it, perspective. That's what I would say. Cliche again, but it's true.
I mean, you have the power to change how you
Yes.
view the day. I
You
suppose.
you
Yeah, I
decide
agree.
how you live your life.
Mm.
If you hate your job, great lah. That's the thing.
Or like be in control of what you're doing
Correct.
instead of let
Correct.
work or let other things that to drag you.
Don't let don't let external factors or things you cannot control get you down as well. I mean, easier said than done. I don't think everyone would think it's that easy as well. I mean, it's
Yeah.
definitely not, but it's a good thing to practice, I guess. So
I think
readjusting.
as long as you're aware, like what should say, you readjust, and as long as you're aware of it, that's the first step to change.
That's true. I agree. I mean, if you're down in the dumps also, it's hard to see things in it very clearly now, right? Like if you're ever emotionally affected by a lot of things, it's difficult to see a clearer picture or to see a clear solution to things. But I think, at least for me, there was always going to be a solution. It's just a matter of when you see it and when you find it out.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, and I hope everyone understands that we all struggle with everything as well. But just
that's what they say. Like if you're
Yeah.
down in the dumps, you're at the lowest point, you can't go any lower.
Can't go any lower, correct.
this is where this is where you find your friends, your family to give you the support that you need and require. And if really you do need it, we will always advise you to go seek professional help. Yeah. That is just the gist of things. And I think we can just wrap it up with one more question on our topic here. Well, I mean, I'm not sure for you guys. Is there like a clear line between, like, putting yourself first and being selfish? Because sometimes, when we want to take care of ourselves, it is important. We should take care of ourselves. But how or what is the distinction between this and just, selfish thoughts? Like, what are your opinions?
I always tell Del, when you got to take care of yourself first. Like if you want to care for others, means you're giving to others part of yourself, part of your time, part of your energy. And if you your own self don't have time for yourself, you yourself don't have energy for yourself, how are you going to give time to other people?
True.
Okay, so just think about that. It's sometimes I know you want to help people. Your main goal is helping people and all those, but if you yourself are in a mess, you can't help anyone.
Same concept with flights and stuff like that. They ask you to put your own mask first, before you can put on for others. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, personally, it's a lot of times when we say put ourselves first, we normally think of, some of us may associate it with being selfish. Let's say someone asks you, oh, can you help me with this? One part of us, if you're unable to do so, one part of us will be saying, you know what, since that person has already come to us for help, it means that he or she is really struggling, hence we should help them. So that's one part of ourselves. But the other part of ourselves will say that you're already so busy, or you're already so filled with so many things. Why do you still want to spare yourself, spare your leftover energy to help other people? So there is that division, between just wanting to, it's okay, I will help you, and the other side is saying that you're already so tired. Why are you trying to force yourself, or push yourself to help other people? So it's really there are certain times where it's very hard to differentiate. When is it time that we should really help others to just really to extend our hand, and when is it that we think that it's actually to say no and say that I come first, or so I put myself first instead of just lending out our hand whenever you're available.
Yeah, like if you have time, I mean, you want to help anyone, by all means help. Be abundant with giving to other people your time and energy. But really, like if you put it in money terms, like you have 1 ringgit, you're not going to give someone 10 ringgit, right? You cannot give someone 10 ringgit. But with our lives, we do it over and over and over. We assume we have more than we can take, and hence that is why sometimes we are in the negative. In our own lives, we are down a lot. It's because we keep on giving and giving without caring for ourselves.
So essentially, you're saying is like, as
Don't
long as
give
you see
more
that
than
you really cannot give to others, taking care of yourself is technically not a selfish priority
Yes.
in this case.
I think in order to give more, you have to take care of yourself so you can produce more.
Okay. Okay.
Right. That's what
Living?
I'm saying.
For me lah, I think it depends on the situation as well. So if putting myself first and then I prioritize myself is when the decision that I made is not hurting others. So it's okay to prioritize myself. But being selfish is when you don't really take into consideration of the others' situation. But also at the same time is if like what Elton shared, if you are not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of others. So yeah, depends on situation lah. But if you put yourself in like the Squid Game, in a life and death situation, so that one there's no clear line of prioritizing yourself or being selfish because your goal is to stay alive. So there's a lot of sacrifice that have to be made.
But again,
So-
that one is like to the extreme of things.
And also,
already.
if you see, right, if you're watching the Squid Game, right, you have to be alive to help other people.
Yes.
If you're dead,
You're dead.
you're dead.
Yeah.
Mm.
It depends on what situation you're in as well lah.
I think
Okay.
I think I just put it as don't hurt yourself. Whatever you do, don't hurt yourself first.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then you work
That-
from there.
I think this is a perfect transition for us to wrap things up here. It's always important to take care of yourself first, and I don't think, at least for me, and from what everyone says, it's not a selfish thing to want to take care of yourself. Obviously, you have to, if you want to help others, that's fine. But if you are not of capacity to help others, then obviously it is not a selfish thing to take care of yourself. You should always practice self-care and self-love because you can't go on. We are not robots, we're not machines and stuff like that. So we always have to take time to recharge. And also, I don't know, everyone has different ways to take care of themselves. So just find whatever way works for you. Yeah. And
Yep.
yeah. I hope everyone has at least found some solace or something important from our conversation here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today's episode. Stay tuned for the other parts that we will be uploading slowly but surely, as this is a 3-parter. And we hope that we had managed to shed some light about talking about these topics. And again, disclaimer, we like to emphasize that these are just our own personal thoughts and opinions, which should not be taken as actual advice. If you need help, always seek the help of a credible mental health professional or your own support system. Again, take care of yourselves, and yeah,
Be safe.
that's it. So yeah, take care of yourselves, and
We'll see you at the next.
we'll
Yeah.
see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye bye.